Hello, guys. Good morning. Welcome to the session today. Hope you all can hear me. Can you guys confirm once? Okay. So, hope I'm audible to everyone. So, if you remember, yesterday we have seen how to interact with the Google Cloud Platform services. I have told you. So, if I wanted to interact with the GCP services, the very first method is console. Console is nothing but a graphical user interface. It is a web-based graphical user interface to interact with the services visually. Similarly, we have a Cloud Shell. Cloud Shell is a command line interface where if you wanted to interact with any of the service in the GCP, you are going to interact via commands. Okay, so these are the two things that we have seen yesterday. Let me gonna just show you. So if you remember, this is what we have seen yesterday, Cloud Console, which is a web-based graphical user interface to interact with the services visually. And Cloud Shell, web-based command line interface to interact with the services via commands. So in Cloud Shell, we have two things. One is Cloud Shell terminal is there, where you are going to interact via purely commands. And in Cloud Shell, you have a one more phase, that is editor. It is very useful if you wanted to have an integrated development environment, and it also supports Git and versioning. Okay, so what is actually Cloud Shell? If you ask me, Cloud Shell is one of the virtual machine assigned to the each user. So every user will be having the Cloud Shell virtual machine, and it will be assigned to the each user. It is free, so you don't need to pay any extra amount to use the Cloud Shell. It is free for all of you guys, and it supports the client libraries, and almost all the client libraries are pre-installed. So Python, Java, Go, Terraform, Docker, kubectl, all these things are already pre-installed. We don't need to specifically install them. And it comes up with a 5 GB storage. So if you wanted to store some amount of data in Cloud Shell, you can also store it here. Okay, so this is how the Cloud Console and Cloud Shell. And the very next method is Cloud SDK. SDK is nothing but a software development kit. Okay, what is SDK, sir? Software development kit. Sir, software development kit. Let me try to explain you. So you can go, the third method is SDK. So the third method is also one of the command line interface. So SDK is also one of the command line interface. If you wanted to interact with the services via commands only, the difference is that it is local based. Okay, it is local based. That means we have to download the SDK and install it on top of our local machine. We have to download the SDK and install on top of our local machine. So that is what you have to do if you wanted to use SDK. So if you wanted to use SDK, what you have to do, sir, you have to install and download the SDK and install on top of your local machine so that you can able to use SDK. That is the reason I usually call this as a local based. Okay, local based means the difference is here that. So the Cloud Shell and Cloud SDK, the difference is that it is local based, it is web based. And the next point is that it is also a command line interface. It is also a command line interface. If you wanted to work with any of the services in the GCP, we can able to interact via commands. Interact via commands. So this is how the difference between the Cloud Shell and Cloud SDK. So the third way of interacting with the services is also a command line. So that is nothing but your SDK. It is a local base. We have to download it and install on top of your local machine. It is just 1 MB, 2 MB, guys. You don't need to worry about it, sir, how much MB of the data we have to download. So let me gonna show you how to download it. Okay. So if you guys wanted to download it, what I will do is that I will open my notes. It's already there in our notes. So if you go to the GCP concepts in the install SDK, this is where you have how to install the SDK. All the steps are properly mentioned here. So I'm going to paste this link in the chat. If you guys wanted to try it out and install on top of your local machine, you can try it out now with me. Okay. So click on this link. Click on the link in which is pasted in the chat, guys. Try to take that link, and once you click on it, what it will do is that it will ask for you to download it. Okay, so this is a SDK installer. We need to first install the SDK installer. So once you click on it, it is asking for you to download it. Can you guys try it out? Can anyone tell me what is the option that you are seeing? Anyone? Okay, so what you have to do is that just click on that link, so that what it will do is that once I click on it, what will happen is that for me, this is what will happen. Let me open my Google Cloud Platform. So this is my browser, right? So if I click on this link, okay, wait a minute. I don't know why it is going here. So I'm going to copy this link, right? So you'll be copying this link and you'll paste it here, right? Like this. So once you click on it, you see here, automatically it is downloading. Okay, once you downloaded it, you just click on it, open. So it will be asking for you to install. Just click on next, just click on agree, just click on next. Automatically, the SDK will be installed on top of your local machine. Okay, CLI, we call it as a CLI, you call it as a SDK, whatever it is. So whatever it is, but you can just click on it. Automatically, it gets downloaded. Okay, automatically it gets downloaded and it will be installed on top of your local machine. Once it is installed, you can go to the search box. It takes 5 minutes, guys, for you to install. It takes 5 minutes. After that, you can come here and you can search with the SDK. You can search with the SDK. So this is what you will be able to see. Google Cloud SDK shell. Just click on it here. Okay, just click on it here. This is how the SDK will open. This is how the SDK will open, guys. So let me gonna first log into here, into my local machine. And so SDK also does not know what is your Google Cloud account. Okay, SDK also does not know what is your Google Cloud account, which account you are trying to interact with it. So that is the reason first you have to log into your account via SDK. Okay, first you have to tag your Google Cloud account. To do that, I have mentioned the step. You can see here. Once after the installation is completed, the installer presents several options as below. Just click on finish. Okay, after that, start the Google Cloud SDK. That means just go here and open the Google Cloud SDK. And after that, just copy this first command. So that is what this command is, that you are logging into that Google Cloud SDK. Okay, to your Google Cloud SDK, you are trying to tag your Google Cloud account. So once you click on it, you can increase the size, Google Cloud SDK. So inside that, you are pasting this command called gcloud auth login. You are trying to log into your account. Click on enter. So it is going to the browser and continue. Yes. Continue. Allow. So you now authenticated to use CLI. See here, you are now authenticated to use CLI. You see here, so you now logged in as this particular account. See, what we have to do is that as soon as we open the SDK, we need to first log into our account. Then only the SDK know that, okay, this is what the account I am trying to tag it. So this is what we are going to interact with these services. So if you wanted to interact with any of the services in the GCP, so we have to first log into that particular account. Once we have logged in, now this is the account is selected. So the project is also selected, this one. You see here, this is the project that is selected. Your current project is this one. Okay, let me go here and see what is the project here. So this is the project, it is actually selected, but I want the project to be this one. So what I will do, copy this one. If you wanted to change a project also, don't worry, these things I will tell you in later point of time, but just to aware you that. So if you wanted to change the projects, gcloud config set project, just give the project ID. The project ID will be changed. Now, yesterday, if you remember, we have given bqls command. So you see here, yesterday we have seen BigQuery. We have interacted with the BigQuery to see that set of data sets, right? So you can see here in BigQuery, we are from the SDK, we are interacted with the BigQuery, and BigQuery given me this kind of a data set. If you wanted to see the list of tables inside this silver data set, copy this command, just enter BQLS SDK. You see here, this is how. Similarly, if you wanted to interact with the Google Cloud Storage also. Okay, so this is how yesterday we had interacted the same. We have pasted the same commands in the Google Cloud Shell also, and here we are also pasting the same commands in the SDK also. Both are giving the same response. It's because either SDK or the shell, both are the command line interfaces only. Both works the same way. The only difference is one is installed on the web browser, one is installed on top of your local machine. Okay, one is installed on top of your local machine. SDK is nothing but your local base. It is we have to download it and install it on top of your local machine. And once it is installed, you have to log into your account and do interacting with the multiple services. If you wanted to change your project, you can also change your project accordingly. Okay, so that steps also I have properly mentioned here, guys. You now logged into your account. If you wanted to change your project, you can able to change your project. And after that, interact with it. Interact with the services. Okay, so this is what you have to do, guys. Okay, anyone have any question here? Please raise your hand, guys. If anyone have any questions, please raise your hand. So SDK works similar fashion to the Cloud Shell. The only difference is that SDK is nothing but your Google Cloud CLI. It has to be installed on top of your local machine. So you first download it. If one wanted to download it, I have given the steps also here, guys. So once you got the access to your nodes, you can go and download and install it on top of your local machine. Okay, so you don't need it now, but the thing is that this is also one of the way to interact with the GCP services. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we have seen Cloud Console, Cloud SDK, Cloud Shell, and the fourth method is APIs are third-party tools. Okay, third-party tools, you might have many third-party tools and integrated development environments are there. It offers the plugins and extensions that can be integrated with the GCP, guys. So there are plenty of the tools. For example, if you wanted to interact with the Visual Studio Code, or if you wanted to monitor some of the activities or debugging some of the activities with the help of the GCP resources, you can able to interact with these services. Or you wanted to interact with some ETL third-party tools. So there are plenty of the things are there, third-party tools. I'm just telling you the way. I'm just telling you that that is also one of the interacting method. Okay, there is some ETL tool. That ETL tool is loading the data to the BigQuery. Okay, so assume that. So some ETL tool, Informatica. Okay, Informatica is there. Informatica is loading the data to the BigQuery, which is there in the Google Cloud Platform, right? So ETL, Informatica is one of the ETL tool. It gets the data from some source. It loading the data to the BigQuery. See, ETL tool, Informatica is a third-party tool which is interacting with the GCP services. So this is kind of a things that we call as a third-party tools. Okay, something like you have some IDEs also, integrated development environment such as VS Code and something like that. Okay, so there are plenty of GitHub and plenty of other tools are also there where they try to interact with the GCP services. So that's the reason we call it as a third party tools. Okay, so this is a fourth way of interacting with the GCP services, guys. Mainly as a data engineer, you will be working on Cloud Console, Cloud Shell, Cloud SDK. So this is also you will work on, but it depends on your client requirement. Okay, this depends on your client requirement. Okay, so these are the four ways that you can able to interact with the GCP services, guys. Anyone have any questions? Okay, great. Okay, so I am going to take up to the next thing. So this is what we have seen. What is Cloud Console? What is Cloud Shell? And there's a note. So these are the some of the common ways to interact with the GCP services. The choice of method depends on your preferences, requirements, and the type of interaction that you wanted to have it with the GCP resources, whether it is through a user interface or a command line interface or APIs or integrated integration with the third-party tools or applications. Okay, what he is saying is that, so, sir, we have four methods, but which method we are going to use? That method is totally depends on your requirement of your project requirement. It totally depends on your project requirement. And if your project says you can use anything, then it is your own requirement. It is your own choice to select if you wanted to go with the client user interface or a command line interface or a third party tools. Okay, it's your own choice. So the very first thing is that which one we have to focus on. It is totally depends on your project requirement. If your project requirement says you have to use user interface only, then you have to use user interface only. You should not use command line interface, because if you try to use command line interface also, you will not be having any access. Okay, if they say command line interface, you have to use command line interface only. If you try accessing the user interface also, you'll not be able to do it easily. Okay, so it totally depends on your project requirement. And in your project, if they say you can able to use any method, then you can, it's your choice. Okay, so that is what it is, guys. Now I wanted you to show you the console walkthrough actually. So what is project, what is Google Cloud Console, and what are the options in the Google Cloud Console homepage, how it looks like, and what is the search box, what is the Cloud Shell option. So everything one by one I wanted to show you. So before that, I'm going to open the Google Cloud Platform. Sorry, not this one. So this one. So if you guys wanted to open your Google Cloud Console, you have to first go to console.cloud.google.com. This is our console homepage, guys. This is our Google Cloud homepage. So where we have to go? console.cloud.google.com. So once you click on it, this is how your first page opens like. Okay, when you go to the first page, this is your left navigation menu. So hamburger menu also some people call it as, or left navigation menu, you can click on this one. So this is your left navigation menu. So in your left navigation menu, you can able to see all the things. So if you wanted to see all the products and solutions, you can click on it here. So Google Cloud Platform provides a total 4,000 plus market products are available. Okay, if you wanted to see the full list of it, you can just go down. Compute options, storage options, analytics services, networking services, distributed serverless databases, operations, security, CI/CD. So plenty of the things are here, guys. So you can go down and it provides a total 4,000 plus market products are available already. If you wanted to explore all the products, you can come here and. So this is how in the left navigation menu, we have here products and solutions. And if you wanted to go to the cloud overview, you'll be able to see this is your cloud overview page, guys. In this one, you'll be able to see your which project, what is your project ID, what is your project number. So project information and commonly recently used resources and the compute engine CPU monitoring dashboard, API dashboard. So the billing status also, you'll be able to see all the details in one page. Okay, just to show you guys, I'm telling you, just to make you aware that these are the options that are available in the left navigation menu. So if you wanted to see full list of products, you can click on more products. You'll be able to see all the list of products. So all the list of products, if you wanted to, you'll be able to see all the list of products. Okay, so this is how it is. Okay, so sir, if you wanted to work with any of the service in the GCP, what I have to do? So you click on this left navigation menu, and sir, I wanted to work with BigQuery. Click on BigQuery. So that is how the BigQuery opens. No, sir, I wanted to work with the cloud storage. You can click on here. You click on cloud storage. Cloud storage opens like this. No, sir, I wanted to work with cloud SQL. You can click on SQL like this. So if you wanted to work with any of the service, you need to choose the service, right? So all the services are listed out here. You can click on that services accordingly, according to your requirement. According to your requirement, you should be able to click on that particular service one by one. Okay, no, sir. Searching the service, finding the service in the list of these things is very hard for me. And if you wanted to search it, for example, sir, I wanted to work with cloud storage. You can search with cloud storage. Okay, you can see here, click on the cloud storage like this directly. Sir, I wanted to work with BigQuery. So you can also come here and you can search with BigQuery and you can open the BigQuery like this directly. Okay, similarly, if you wanted to work with SQL, so this is how, if you wanted to work with any of the service in the GCP, either if you can go to the left navigation menu and you can go, or you can go to the search box, or you can go to the search box. So these are the two things that you have if you wanted to find the service and work with that service. Okay, this is purely working culture of console. This is the working culture of console, guys. In the console, you are going to interact with the services visually, right? So this is what it is. So you have left navigation menu, which listed out all the services in the Google Cloud platform. And if you wanted to work with any of the service, you can select a service from here, or you can also select a service from the search box. Okay, so that is how it is. And one more interesting, important section is that this is your section, that is project area. So hereafter, I'm going to call this as a project area. When I say project area, you have to come to this particular board, this particular thing. So this is your project area, guys. Okay, in the project area, either you can create a new project or you can select the existing project. Either you can create a new project or create an existing project. Sir, how to create a new project? See here, in this particular Google Cloud account, I have totally 3 projects are there. Totally 3 projects are there. If you wanted to click on new project, you can click on new project here. If you wanted to create a new project, first you need to tap on this particular new project. Once you tap on that new project, we have to provide the details like this. So one is project name. The next thing is project ID. So if you wanted to edit this project ID, also click on edit here. So this is how you have to provide your project name and you have to provide your project ID. According to your requirement, you can provide your own project name and project ID. Okay, let me gonna tell you some basic thing. So whenever you wanted to create a project, there are actually 3 things. 3 parameters are there. Okay, so this is your project. So when you wanted to create your project, there are 3 parameters that we have to provide. One is project name, one more is project ID, the third one is project number. Okay, whenever you wanted to create any project, you have to provide this 3 parameters. So this is choice, whose choice it is. Who have to provide this thing? The choice. This is nature. Okay, so let me gonna show you. So project name, whose choice it is? It is a user choice, sir. Project name, providing a project name is a user choice. Can the user can be able to change the project name after once the project name is given? Can the user change the project name? Yes, it is mutable. So the mutable means the project name can be changed later also. Okay, so once the project name is given by the user, it can be changed later also. So that is the reason I would say it is mutable. Similarly, project ID. So project ID is also user choice. But once the project ID is given, you cannot be able to change it later. So that is the reason it is called as a immutable. It is called as a immutable. It's because once the project ID is given, you cannot be able to change it later. Okay, so that is what it is, guys. Likewise, you have a project number. So project number is a Google choice. You can't assign it. So you can't assign it. So project number is auto assigned by the Google. You cannot assign it and you cannot change it. You cannot assign it, you cannot change it. So this is what it is, guys. So whenever you wanted to create a project, so when creating project, we have to provide three parameters. One is project name, project ID, project number. Project name and project ID are the user choices. These both are the user choice. And project name can be changed later also. Whenever you wanted to change your project name, you can able to change it. But project ID, if you wanted to change it, you cannot be able to change it because it is a immutable option. Because it is immutable. Project number is not assigned by you, cannot be changed by you because it is auto assigned by the Google. It is immutable. Okay, so hope you got some idea now. Now let me go here. Sir, I wanted to give some project name. Sir, this is my morning batch. So I wanted to create a project name like morning batch 7:30. Okay, let me just say morning batch. And here the project ID I would say morning batch 7:30. So that I can able to easily recall. So the project name is morning batch. The project ID is morning batch 7:30. 7:30 to 8:30 I will mention. Okay, this is my morning batch, guys. Okay, sir, project number cannot be able to seen here. As I told you, project number is auto assigned by the Google itself. So you cannot be able to provide it and you cannot be able to change it. So that is the reason it is not shown here. Okay, so we can able to provide the project name and project ID. Just click on create. So what is this location, sir? Sir, this location is organization. When you are actually go and work in your company, the organization name will be the company's name. For example, if you are working in Accenture, so their Accenture organization account will be shown here. Okay, Accenture organization account will be shown here. If you are working in a Infosys organization account will be there. So that will be shown here. So location is nothing but your company's organization account, your company's account. Okay, so that is what it is. It is tagged to that your company, your organization. All your projects, all your Google accounts, everything is tagged to the organization only. From that organization only, the money will be debited. So because when you're working in a company, the money is not debited from the individual, the money is not debited from the project, the money will be debited for the entire organization accounts. From all the projects, that money will be debited. So that I will show you, don't worry, but that will be in our IM and admin concept that I will show you. But for try to understand, the location is nothing but your organization name for now, organization name or account. Okay, now I provided the project name, I have provided the project ID. Just click on create. Once you click on create, the new project will be created for us. A new project will be created for us. Okay, a new project is created for us. You see here. So if I wanted to select, see here, the project is selected as a evening batch. Sir, I wanted to change it. So you can click on it, morning batch. So this is how you have to select it. So if you wanted to switch between the projects, you have to always go to this project area, click on the project area. If you wanted to change your projects, just click on select here. Or if you wanted to select morning batch, you can select it like this. Or if you wanted to select a test project, you have to select it. So whenever you wanted to change any of the projects, you have to come to your project area, switch between the projects. Okay, so that is what you have to do. That is what you have to do, sir. Okay, so now you got some idea how you have to. Sir, I wanted to change the project name. Sir, if you wanted to change or delete the project or create the project, whatever you have to do, you can come to the project section. You can click on the settings button. To create the new project, you can click on new project. If you wanted to rename it or delete the project, you can click on the settings button. Okay, if you wanted to delete it, you can just click on it and click on delete. If you wanted to delete it one more project, you can able to delete it. So if you wanted to delete the projects also, you can able to delete the projects. Okay. So if you wanted to rename the projects, not here. So if you wanted to rename the project, somewhere it will be, guys. I forgot. Okay, no. I think I am an admin only. Settings, I guess. Yeah. Not settings. See here. So in the settings, so now if I wanted to change it morning batch, I can give a morning batch. I would just say Monday to Friday. So this is what morning batch Monday to the project name I can change it. But you see here, project ID I cannot change it. Even I try to enter something, I cannot be able to change it because it is not able to change. We cannot be able to provide it. Project number also you see here. Project name is there, project ID is there, project number is there. Sir, but as I told you, project name can be changed, but project ID and project number cannot be changed at all. So that is how you cannot be able to change these details. But you can able to save this one. So you see here, it is changed. You can also see here, it is changed. Okay, so that is how. So now onwards, the project name is morning batch Monday to Friday. So that is how. So for your project name, this is your project name, sir. This is your project ID. So at some point of time, sir, I wanted to know the project ID. You come here, you copy it. Click on copy. So if you want project ID, you can always come to your project section and copy the project ID. Okay, so this is what is all about the project section. Okay, any questions, anyone on the project section? Correct, correct. So I'm going to talk about that only. But yeah, so whatever you are using, all the services will be tracked via project only. It will be tagged to the project only. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you that anyway. But that's the idea. Yes. Okay. Now this is how it is, guys. So you are trying to interact with the services. Okay. So you wanted to interact with the services. Okay. So now tell me, in Google Cloud Platform, you have a plenty of services. Sir, I have a BigQuery. Sir, I have a cloud storage, GCS. Sir, I have a data proc. Sir, I have a data flow. Sir, I have a airflow, nothing but a composer. Sir, I have IAM. Sir, I have, we have PubSub. So in Google Cloud Platform, you have a plenty of services, right? So if you wanted to interact with any of the services, as I told you, what are the ways that we can able to interact with it? What are the ways that we can able to interact with it, guys? Anyone, please? Okay, let me gonna tell you that first later. So there are I told you guys. So if you wanted to interact with the services in the GCP, we have Cloud Shell, Cloud SDK, and Cloud Console and the third-party tools, right? So that is all. Sir, whenever if one wanted to interact with the services in the GCP, sir, these are the services in the GCP. If one wanted to interact with the services in the GCP, they must create the project. First, create the project. So for project creation is the first activity. If you wanted to interact with any of the service in the GCP, it's because all the services are tagged to the project only. All the services are tagged to the project only. Okay. So for example, if this is a development project, there can be a testing project, there can be a production project. So in each project, you are using some set of services. Those set of services are limited to the project only. The cost of that services will be tagged or tracked using the project only. Okay, so the very first activity that as soon as you logged into the Google Cloud account is that either you create a project or you select the existing project. Otherwise, you can't work. Okay, you can also see here. So as soon as I mentioned console.cloud.google.com also, by default, it actually selects the project. Okay, if you can't unselect a project, you can't unselect any project. Okay, if you wanted to work with any of the service in the GCP, first activity is that create a project or select the existing project. Even not only here, even if you wanted to work in the Cloud Shell also, in the Cloud SDK also, as I shown you already. So we must select the project. See here, we have selected the project in the SDK also. In Cloud Shell also, as soon as we entered into the project, by default, one of the project is selected, you see here. By default, one of the project is selected in the console also. Okay, so if you wanted to work with any of the service in the GCP, in any of the interacting method, the very first activity is that select the project or choose the existing project. Okay, so that is what it is. Now, once that is selected, once that is selected, the second activity is that we need to enable the billing. So the second activity that we need to do is that we need to enable the billing. We need to enable the billing, sir, because the services are not free. Because the services are not free. So if you wanted to work with any of the service like such as BigQuery, GCS, Dataflow, Composer, IM, any of the service here, you have to enable the billing. We have to enable the billing. Sir, how do we enable the billing, sir? The question is, how do we enable the billing? So I can go here, I can go to the left navigation menu, I'll be able to see billing section here. So I'll be able to see billing section here. Click on this billing. So this is how the page opens. This is how the page opens. If you have created your account, if you wanted to see any of the information, you can come here. You'll be able to see free trial credit. For us, the billing will be debited. The amount of money will be debited from the free credit only because we are given with the 3 months of free trial account and with of $300, that is almost 24,943 rupees. That is as given it to you as a free credit. So we can use those things. So whenever you are using some service, the money will be debited from this free trial credit only. Okay, so that is what will happen. Okay, so whenever you are using any of the service in the GCP, you need to enable the billing. You need to enable the billing. If you wanted to work with any of the service in the GCP, you need to enable the billing. So if you wanted to enable the billing, you can see here. So we are in a free trial account. So you can see here, manage billing account. Just click on manage billing accounts. Okay, you see here how many projects are there? Total 4 projects. And if you wanted to, so sir, here see here. This is our project. The billing is already enabled. If you wanted to, by default, whenever you create a new project, by default, the project is enabled with billing. Okay, whenever you create a new project, the billing will be enabled by default. Okay, the billing will be enabled by default. If you wanted to disable the billing, you can click on here, disable billing. Okay, the billing will be disabled. Okay, instead of coming to here, I will actually go to here. Manage billing account, I will go here, guys. Okay, if you go here, you click on my projects. So this is where you will be able to see more information. See here, just now we have disabled the billing here, right? So for morning batch, we have just a billing is disabled. So when the billing is disabled, what will happen, sir? When the billing is disabled, what will happen, sir? So if you try to click on cloud storage, and if you try to click on create, see here, what is the option? Can you guys read it out louder? Can anyone read it out louder, guys? So we cannot be unable to create a bucket when the billing is disabled. But you see here, the project is this one, the project ID, this one, the billing is disabled. What it is saying is that unable to create a bucket when the billing is disabled. So if you wanted to work with any of the service in the GCP, first thing is create the project. Next thing is enable the billing. If you don't enable the billing, this is what happens. So for example, the same thing, I'll go here. Sir, I wanted to enable the billing. So you click on these 3 dots, change the billing, select the billing account, set account. That's it. So when you set the account, when you refresh this page, you see here, I can able to click on. So it is not throwing any error now. I can just click on create. Okay, so this is how it is. So if you wanted to work with any of the service in the GCP, we must create a project and enable the billing. Okay, we must create the project and enable the billing. Sir, I don't wanted to use this project. This is the project. One of the project I don't wanted to use it, sir. I wanted to disable the billing, sir. Either you can delete that entire project or you can disable the billing also. That is totally fine. Okay, so this is what it is. So you first disable the billing if you don't wanted to use that project. Okay, if you wanted to use it, again you come here and enable it. Okay, you come here again, select the billing account and set account. So that is how it is. Okay, so this is how, if you wanted to enable the billing or disable the billing, you come where, guys? You click on navigation menu, you click on billing first. Okay, you actually come here directly. Okay, let me go from here. You click on billing now. Okay, billing accounts, and this is how the page opens. And click on this billing account. Once you click on it, you see here manage billing accounts. So this is the page here. This is where you will be able to see all of those options. This opening, wait a minute. So this is your billing account. If you wanted to see the projects, you click on projects. So this is all the projects. So the billing is enabled on 3 projects. Sir, can you guys tell me how many projects the billing is disabled? Anyone? Only one project, right? So in one project, the billing is disabled and all other 3 projects, the billing is enabled. So this is how you have to make sure that. And that is how the billing is also done. So now we have seen, we must create the project, we must enable the billing. And the next thing is that, so this is not for all the services, this is only for few services, enabling API. Enable API, not for all the services, only for few services. Not for all services, only for few services we need to enable the API, sir. Okay, for some services There are few specific services in the GCP. We need to enable the API. So for not for all, only for few services only. Sir, can you show me? Sir, if you try to access, so you can select a project. Sir, if you try to access Composer, Airflow, click on this. Is it asking for us to enable the API? But if you try to access Dataproc, is it asking you to enable the API? No. Similarly, BigQuery. Is it asking for us to enable the API? No. So if you wanted to use some services, you don't need to be enable the API. By default, the API is enabled. But there are few services such as Composer. So if you wanted to use few services in the GCP, you have to enable the API. So enabling the API is only for few services. If you wanted to enable it, just click on enable. Just click on enable. That's it. The API will be enabled. Hereafter, you can able to use that particular service. Okay, so that is how, if you wanted to enable the API, you can able to enable it. API enabling the API is only for few services, as I told you. So that is the reason I wanted to give it a light color. Okay, I wanted to give it a light color. So this is how there are different varieties of services are there. If you wanted to interact with any of the service in the GCP, you can able to interact it like this. Okay. Do we have any question, guys? Okay, so if before you interacting with any of the service in the GCP, why did I tell you is that before you interact with any of the service in the GCP, before you interact with any of the service in the GCP, the very first activity that you do is that project creation. The first thing is project creation. Once the project is created, you need to enable the billing. You need to enable the billing. Once the billing is also enabled for few services, if you are using enable the API, then you interact with the any of the service in the GCP. So interacting with any of the service in the GCP, there are 4 ways. So one is, that's the reason I have created 4 lines. Why? Because you have a console, you have a cloud shell, you have a cloud SDK, you have a third party tools. Okay, total 4 things are there. So you can able to use any of these methods to interact with the services in the GCP. So this is what it is, guys. Okay, so that is how, if you go to the home page, so if you go to the home page, we have here the left navigation menu. We got to know how to set up the project. Also, we got to know this is your project area, and this is your search box to search some services to interact with it. And I already told you here is we have the activate cloud shell option. Okay, here we have cloud shell activate button, and for those few services, sir, afterwards, sir, I wanted to see my status of free trial status. Here you have a free trial status button. You can click on this reward button. You'll be able to see here how many free credits are left for how many days. Okay, for me 58 days are left with 18,000 rupees. Okay, so this is how you can able to see the status. And if this is your account details, and this is your project method, billing status, all of those details, if you wanted to set, you can able to set it here. Okay, so all the things are here, guys. Okay, so what do we got to know today? So we have learnt about cloud SDK as well as third-party tools, and after that I've told you left navigation menu, how to use it, and project setup, how do you set up the project, and the third thing, enable billing, and the fourth thing is enable API, and the fifth thing is that walkthrough. So these are the things that we have seen today, guys. If anyone have any questions, you can ask me. So these are the basic things. So because why I'm telling you all these basic things is that maybe next week onwards we are going to enter into the each and every service in the GCP. So these are the basic things that you must know. Okay. So you should not ask me that, sir, how I should enable or disable the billing. Okay. So that is the reason I'm telling you. Okay. Sir, in billing also, you can also create some kind of a alerts also. Okay, sir, I am reaching some limit. I wanted to create some kind of a budget alert. You can also do that actually. Let me gonna show you how to create a budget alert. So this is something that you can actually self-explanatory, I would say. Sir, if you wanted to see some kind of a cost table, the cost table is something that for each project, what is the cost of amount of money is debited. You can come here and you can check it out. Because for us, it is a zero because we are using the free trial account. Everything is zero. But these are the three projects. You will be able to see the cost. If you wanted to see the cost breakdown for each service, you can also see it here. Okay, so cost of the breakdown for each service for all the three projects. If you wanted to filter out for each project, you can also select each project. So for this project, the cost was 851 rupees. If you wanted to see what are the services, okay, for BigQuery, how much amount of money is debited. So such kind of a filtering out, and you can able to check it out the cost for each project, for each service, how much amount of money is debited. Okay, and you can also create budget and alerts. So if you wanted to create a budget, sir, my budget is budget one and monthly for all the projects, for all the services. Click on next, specified amount. I wanted to mention 100 rupees or 1000 rupees or 10,000 rupees. Click on next. Action is that, so whenever you created a budget, so 10,000 rupees. So whenever you are nearing the limit, you keep on getting the alerts. So you will get first alert when you are reaching the 5,000. You get the next alert when you reach the 9,000. You get third alert when you reach the 10,000. So something like that. If you wanted to change your percentages, how do you get the emails? All of those things you can click on. You can click on finish. So what will happen is that, so whenever you create this kind of a budget alerts, you will get the budget alerts at each level. Okay. So once you reach the 50% of your budget, you will get a first alert. 90% of your budget, you can get the second alert. So you can, this way you can also manage your billing accounts. Okay, so that is how you can create alerts. These are all self-explanatory, guys. Reports, cost table, cost breakdown. You can just hover over to all of these things. Just check it out. What is actually saying? Cost table is that it gives you the entire details for project wise. Okay, so this is how it is. Anyone have any question so far? If anyone have any question, you can ask me, guys. Yes, Lakshman, tell me. Okay. Yes, it's a free account, guys. We can create a free tier account. So I'm going to tell you guys tomorrow only. We are going to create GCP free tier account. We are going to create it. So the free tier account is free. That means free for next 3 months. The validity is sorry, valid not valid. Validity is 3 months. The money that you are getting is $300. Okay, 3 months means 90 days. Actually, I would say 90 days. And if one wanted to create an account, all services you can use. There is no restriction. All services you can use. There is no restriction on this service and that service. And if you wanted to create it, tomorrow I will tell you, keep your debit card or credit card ready. At least 2 rupees. Only 2 rupees is enough. To create an account, it is free, guys. 2 rupees is only for the verification purpose, and again this 2 rupees will be credited to you. Okay, within 1 week this 2 rupees will also be credited to you. Okay, so we are going to create a GCP free tier account. So you need at least one debit card or credit card with 2 rupees inside it. Only 2 rupees. So if you have it, we are going to create a free tier account in the GCP tomorrow. Okay. So keep this ready. Yeah. Okay, Lakshman, any question? Yeah, correct. So cloud engineering is the one who will be working on almost all the things. Data engineer is specific to the big data related activities. Okay, cloud engineer is someone who will be working on cloud networking also, cloud admins also, cloud applications also. So he will be able to work on all other things also. But data engineer specifically works on data engineering activities. Yeah, correct. Yes, professional data engineer. You have to write that exam. It is external certification from the Google. So we have to write the external exam for those who are planning for the certification, guys. For the GCP data engineer, you have a GCP PDE is there. So GCP, sorry, GCP PDE is there. This is provided by the Google only. So you have to apply for the exam. You have to complete crack the exam. Then they will provide the certification. Okay. So this is an external exam from the Google itself directly. $200. Yes, $200. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. That is not required for this one. It is morely on the professional data engineer level only, guys. So you can go for that. Those who are wanted to ask the question, please raise your hand, guys. Yeah. So it is for $200. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Someone was asking in between. Yeah. Pratyusha. Yes. I will be providing the access to the nodes, so those who are completing the registrations, guys. So the access link is already with the admin. So if you, so today is, please complete your registrations, guys. So if you are completing the registration by today, from tomorrow onwards, maybe I'm not sure, they may be changing the link. Complete the registrations today. If you complete the registrations, all people are enrolled for the course. Okay, registration means enroll for the course by paying the course fee, so that they will share you the notes link and recordings link. Okay, so those who are completing the registration, they will get the notes link as well as recording links. Both they will get it. Please complete the registration. You will get both. Okay. Yeah, recording access also you will get it. They will share you all of those things. All the material they will share you. Okay. So maybe I'm not totally sure. Maybe tomorrow's is free or not. But if you wanted to further continue with the regular classes, complete your registration and get the notes from the admin team and try to get the recordings links also. Okay, so that is what it is. Yes, Supriya. Supriya, if you have any question, okay, that's great. Okay, yes, Jagdish.
Sir, actually, I am already an existing student. I have attended your classes before 6 months, but due to office timings and all, I was not able to continue.
Okay.
So, any discount in fees and what
I'm
will be
not
the
totally
fees?
sure. You can connect with the admin team. They will tell you. I'm not totally sure about the fee structures and all, because you
Okay,
can.
but
I think they will provide it for sure.
okay, okay.
Yeah, they will provide it for sure. They will be having it. You can connect with them. Yes.
And any WhatsApp group or Telegram group to communicate with students if we miss something?
Yes. 1 minute. Okay. So, guys, so you will be 1 minute. Guys, you will. I have pasted here the link for the Telegram group. You can go and join there. Okay. Yeah. So any updates on the things will be there in the Telegram group. I will be pasting you some updates. If you have any questions also, you can paste in the Telegram group. Okay. Yeah. So those who complete the registration, they get the access to the notes, recordings, and Telegram group access. Okay. Yeah. Anyone
Sir,
have any
after
other question?
yes, sir. After we have using our debit card or credit card, after 3 months they will debit any money from the
No,
account.
no. I will tell you what you have to do. Usually they won't do it. What you have to do is that we have to delete all the projects. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I will show you how to delete. I think I told you how to delete the projects also. So the only thing is that, see, the logic is that the money will be debited. It's because if you use the resources. Okay, if you are using the resources, that means the projects will, the resources are tagged to the project. If we delete the project itself, there won't be any resources utilized. That means the money will not be debited. Okay, so we need to delete the projects
Okay, sir.
after 3 months. Okay, yeah. Okay. So anyone have any other question, guys? Someone was asking something. I think that was, yeah. Okay. So you can ask. I'm not sure your name, Kuku, Coco. So if you have any questions, you can ask. Yeah. Yes, I can hear you. I mean, I couldn't able to hear you clearly, but I can hear you. Yes. Yeah. That yeah, this is something that there are actually two sessions are going on. The other session is also going on live. Both are Zoom sessions. So that's the reason I'm pasting the question here all the time. Okay. Yeah. Okay. If you have any question, you can ask. Yeah. Okay, guys. If anyone have any questions, so please do complete the registrations today itself, and you will get the notes, recordings, Telegram group, and updated link for the class. So all of these things will be tagged to the link only. So try to do it. And if you guys have any questions, you can ask me tomorrow also. That is totally fine. Okay? Yeah. Thank you all. Have a great day. Bye bye. We will meet tomorrow at the same time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.